Hello and welcome to One North Main, Brockton's magazine show, where we profile people, places, and events that make this city, our city, great. Every year we try to focus on a municipality, and this year is, like many other years, Brockton Fire Department does tremendous work. We've had the privilege of getting behind the scenes, covering training exercises, administrative work, the call center, and multiple activities that save lives. Today is no exception. Today we will focus on one big training that was held over at Brewster Ambulance and a training here at the Goddard School. The fire department is partnering up with the Brockton Police Department during an active shooter mass casualty training. Better buckle up. I'd tell you to relax, but I'm not sure your heart rate's going to slow down today. And enjoy the show. Did she make the shirts or did you?
We made them together. Chocolate. Gotta love it.
Hello and welcome to One North Main. You guys got to work together, but what's the objective here?
This is a training that is unique. We've never covered anything like this. Let's walk us through this, would you?
All right. So Jay, I know you come out for the open house every day, and we do extrication in a car. We cut up a car, and it's quick and, very sterile. This is a whole different animal in regards to operating on a school bus. If you can notice here, you see this is a school bus. This vehicle in behind here is actually driven under. Now, it's obviously not as far under as it would be if we actually had to get someone out, but what they're simulating right now is a person being trapped in the vehicle that's behind, and the vehicle has gone underneath this, and they have to be able to get this person out of this vehicle from behind. Well, we don't have, if you notice, Lynch's has their big heavy rotator here. We won't have that out on the road, and we have to get this person out right away. So they're really here right now just to help us stabilize it so in case, in a training opportunity, we don't want obviously anyone to get hurt or anything untoward to happen. So that's really what that's for. But what we'd have to do is we'd have to take our Paratech struts, and we'd actually have to get this bus up and out of the way. What they're doing right now is they're creating a structure with straps and struts, and they're going to be able to lift this bus so that then at the back, these guys in the back, you see there's a grip hoist connected to another truck. They're going to be able to now pull this car out from underneath so then they could get to work on the patient that's in the vehicle. So this is not something that just happens, obviously we want it to happen as quickly as possible, but there's a number of moving parts. Right now, we have 4 companies, 4 pieces of apparatus here working on this one operation between stabilizing the bus, stabilizing the struts, setting up the grip hoist. Again, taking care of the patient in the vehicle as best as we can at the same time. So there's a number of moving parts. First student gave us 3 buses. Lucini gave us 1, and these are buses that were kind of, they had kind of seen their useful life, and they were able to be used for us. We've had Lynch's been able to come in and give us a great opportunity to kind of help us stabilize. And one of the things we were doing earlier, we were able to turn a bus on its side to try to get kids out, so we needed Lynch's here to be able to flip that bus over for us. They've always been really good to us in that regard, and Brewster Ambulance here has let us use their parking lot. So there's a lot of moving parts right now, and this is about 6 months of setup by Captain McLean for 4 days of operation. So it's a lot of planning for a life-saving technique. So these guys, if you don't get to practice on this, you'll be in a lot of trouble, because when you don't want to have to do this for the first time out on Route 24 or on Belmont Street in Brockton or wherever that may be. We were fortunate about 6 months ago to have a box truck up. We had it up behind Station 1. We were able to lift that truck. Similar operation to this, and doing basically the same thing, but of a different type of vehicle. This was school buses. If you look, the interesting thing about a lot of these school buses, people don't realize, they look at these black stripes that are going down the side, that's reinforced steel to protect the students inside. So that can't just be cut with the irregular sawzall that you buy at Home Depot. That sometimes needs to be cut with a big K12 saw. It may need to be cut with the Hurst cutting tool. Number of different things. You know, these buses are built to withstand impact, to protect the student inside. So there's a lot that, you know, you look at a school bus rolling down the road, you don't realize how much engineering actually goes into this vehicle, so that these kids are safe when they go. But unfortunately, bad things do happen, and we need to be prepared for that.
It does slope to the left a little bit. So once we get everything tightened up and all the straps and everything in there, we're going to have to keep that in mind as we lift up, that side, it has a tendency to go that way.
Hi, I'm State Fire Marshal Peter Ostrowski. Each year, have your furnace or chimney checked by a professional at the start of the heating season. A well-running furnace can save you money, prevent fires, and carbon monoxide poisoning. A professional chimney sweep can check for cracked or broken mortar that can lead to fires, as well as remove creosote, which is what causes most chimney fires. Use a metal ash can with a lid. Store it outside, away from the house, porch, or garage until ashes are completely cool. Remember this winter, keep warm, keep safe.
So Jay, you notice Captain Kerr up in the back. He's commanding. He's kind of like the Special Operations Commander right now, and he's basically commanding these gentlemen on the jacks what to do, how to lift, and at what rate, because he has a better view. He has a better perspective from the rear to see where the lift is going, if it's pitched one way or the other. So what's happening, if you see right here, Tim Murphy, he actually is on this lift, on this side. He has the strut. Jeff Morrison is the senior man, he's watching it, and you see the biggest strut, the biggest strut, he's actually catching up with that to capture, to make sure they hold their gains as it goes up. Now he just went to a stop. He must see something. He must see something he doesn't like. You also heard the pop. You're going to hear the chassis start to move. So nothing about this, I hate to say, is super safe, but that's firefighting. You know, we can try to make this job as safe as we want, but there are a lot of variables we have to deal with, and this is one of them. Again, Lynch's is here to hold this up at the top so we don't have any issues, because this is a training exercise. But if this was out on Route 24, Belmont Street, Main Street, wherever it is, that safety factor is not there. We can't wait for that. So now we'll watch. The captain has his arms out up there still. They're not moving, and he's giving commands to both guys. They have eye contact the entire time. So you watch the captain's arms, he'll go down. You notice right behind him, Firefighter McSheffrey is on a grip hoist. What his job is to pull that vehicle out once they get it up and off. Sometimes it's the smallest amount, sometimes it's quite a bit. So his arms go down, and they compress, and they begin to lift, and those chains are underneath the chassis, and they are actually making that lift. I say this is a labor-intensive incident. This is, you're going to have, the Squad A, 2 engines, and a ladder company here probably, and they're going to be doing all this. So we'll have one crew that's going to have a hose line out in case there's any fuel leaks, anything like that, in case we don't want to make sure there's no fire, but we're also going to have a crew in taking care of the patient, working in conjunction with Brewster Ambulance to make sure that everything is being done correctly medically, because we can't put Brewster Ambulance in the vehicle. They're not fully equipped like us to be able to do that work. They're not used to working in that environment, so we're not going to put them in the vehicle. We're going to have them advise us and help us treat the patient at the same time. Then you'll have a couple of companies, whether it be Squad A and Ladder 1 or whoever it may be, operating with the actual bus and moving the bus, lifting it, putting it in the position so we can get it out. This is actually pneumatic, and that there's air in that other strut, the bigger strut there, and that as they go up, they add air to it to hold the position. As Timmy's lifting here, so they're kind of doing the same thing. One's doing it with a hand pump, the other one's doing it with an actual SCBA bottle. We use that for a lot of that stuff. We use that for the airbags and everything. One of the things about the fire service, we have to carry so much stuff that sometimes we have to be. So Jeff Morrison, you just heard him, he said stop. He saw something. It's not, hey, slow down, anything, it's stop. And that word is synonymous with stop. So we all know we're going to stop the operation right now, take a better look, someone will look at the other side, and then we'll move it again. Understanding now, though, that what I was just saying was about, SCBA balls. So we have to use everything we have. These trucks only can carry so much. So we have to kind of try to multitask with that equipment to be able to do that.
Fire Station 6, October. What does that mean? You know it, I know it, we all know it. It's the annual Fire Department Open House in celebration of National Fire Safety Week. There's always some fun activities. We'll have Brewster Ambulance here. We'll have a vehicle extraction demonstration, extracting a patient from a vehicle. We'll have the smokehouse, the kids-friendly smokehouse, and so much more. We always do. Sparky will be here, I'll be here, and you'll be here along with us. Let's hit it. This really gets the kids involved. It's an interactive activity. They called 911. We've got kids that are learning while having fun. And it is loud. The smoke is dense. And it's because they want to keep it as real life as possible, that's for sure. So, Daddy was leaving the newspapers by the fireplace. Bad move.
And they think there's a fire, or they smell fire or smoke, to get up and feel the bottom of the door. The door is heated, so it gives them a sensation that there's a fire on the other side, and how to escape through the porch and down the ladder. And then in the living room, looks like Daddy's been a little careless with his newspapers and the fire screen off the front of the fireplace, and teaching them the importance of having that clear combustibles. Those sparks will fly out, and if there is a fire, that the first choice is to go through the door, and if not, go through the window.
Nobody does it better than the Brockton Fire Department, but there is nobody, and I mean nobody in the greater Brockton area that can stop, drop, and roll quite like me. Simple, ladies and gentlemen. It's stop, drop, and roll. We all know it. Kids out there that are watching this, if you see smoke, stop. You drop and you roll.
So basically the guys are gonna start working on that right now. And as they go through different things, what we're gonna do here is, we got 4 doors in the car. Squad A's gonna work on one side. They're gonna remove the doors from the driver's side of the car. Ladder 1's gonna work on the other side. And then after that, we're gonna take the whole roof off. And then we usually do that. A lot of times when we get to a call, we don't have to do all this. We just do like a simple door and everything's good. But there are times when we have to take the whole roof off the vehicle just to gain patient access, because it's just gonna be easy to get them out. So as they're doing this, you see them, they're working a little bit at a time. And this is the problem with the cars nowadays. It's all plastic and lightweight aluminum on the outside. As they're doing it, it's tearing apart. And once they're doing it, it's actually, they have to make a spread, then they have to move back in, make another one. So it's little tiny movements. It's not as simple as just putting the tool in there and going like this. It doesn't work. It starts to tear the outside.
Spin the wheel, and then you can win a prize if you answer the question.
I'm going to spin the wheel.
What number?
9.
Give an example of safety practices you can do while cooking.
Make sure your pots handles are facing in and not out.
You're right, and you can also always stay by your pan and don't wear loose clothing.
Okay, we're gonna leave the final word to Deputy Albanese. Deputy, when you grew up as a young man, did you ever imagine you would be in control of a remote control fire truck?
I certainly did not.
Have all your dreams come true?
All my dreams have come true, Jay.
Attention Squad A, Engine 3, Ladder 4. Reported shots fired, multiple people down, Union Street. This is a drill.
So the police are trained to go by victims. They're going to stop the threat. So when you see the victims come out like this, they're trained to, they're going to point them to an area of collection where we can actually follow up once that area is secure.
I hear people yelling down here.
Right. Get the rail.
Yeah, go.
RTF 1 on the first floor.
Oh, they want to make it worse.
B set.
Hey, guys, help us.
Can you stand up and walk?
Don't just walk past them. Treat them as you stand up and walk.
You can walk?
One person per patient, go ahead. Triage and move on. Triage and move on.
Take some equipment, sit back and move on.
Make sure I
We need another person to walk around.
I got multiple victims back here.
Alright, careful on the command, we're gonna need you to third.
Deceased, black. They got a black tag.
We have at least 5 victims.
Billy, help Billy!
Hey,
Billy!
once he's treated, move on to somebody else. We have multiple
I got a
patients,
black
right?
tag
Stop
here.
the bleed and move on.
move past the police.
You got two back here that nobody touched.
You guys okay?
What about Billy? Billy! Help
Both of
Billy!
them coming.
Christian,
You got a second RTF coming?
She walk
You're overwhelmed here, right? So call for another team.
One more victim in floor 25.
My arm hurts too.
man, you gotta stay with him. I don't know what.
Yeah, that's fine.
Where do we go?
You change all security at the door.
It went into 125.
It's already been cleared. How many victims are approximately?
Shot. You'll take care of it.
So you should be stopping the bleed, right? Prioritizing.
Assistance.
All right, I can walk. Where do you want me to go?
Wherever you put them. They're not leaving, they're staying with you until they have protection, right?
Okay.
One area.
Okay, where am I going? Where am I going? I'm
Stay
hit.
here.
Shot.
Stay here.
Where am I going? Where am I going? Shot. This is a shot. Okay, where am I going? Where am I going? Help me out. Help me out. Help me out.
Sit right here.
Help me out. Help me out.
We're out. Go out the C door. We're going out the Delta side.
Hey.
Yeah.
Past the police.
Stay with the police. Go out the C door.
Delta side.
Go out the C door.
What's wrong with her?
That is the Delta side.
What's up with her?
East side is Union Street.
Clear. We got one party on the left on the floor.
Hey, Dave, right there.
Yeah.
Right here on the floor, right here on the floor.
See if she's been, you been attended to?
Eddie, check the back.
Leave one person here to
Gunshot
tend
wound
to
to the neck. Treat her, please.
One person stay here, move on to the next victim. Make sure your police protection's
Another
behind
body
you.
shot, got two. Eddie, you got rear cover? You
I
got
got
one
red
right
cover and I
there.
got red
Yep, so
protection.
she's being attended to.
Second victim. Clear.
DOA. I have another DOA.
You got two black
All
tags
right,
here,
stand
move
by,
on,
stand
move
by,
on.
stand by.
Have these rooms been cleared?
Yes.
Okay.
This your second? Yep.
Do you have another DOA? I have a fourth DOA.
All right, move on.
Shower side. There to help evacuate.
Going to that ambulance exchange point,
Go
right?
first. Go ahead.
No, we're going to that ambulance exchange point. How many more we got?
We have one runner, she's gunshot wound to the head. We have two
Just
walking
throw them
wounded.
in there. Get them in there, get them in a secure. We're not in a completely secure environment here, right?
Another walking wounded.
Move in and get ready to go back in and help, right? Talk to your law enforcement.
We're gonna help with this. Let's help. Well, you need.
Is this guy going to the ambulance?
Yeah, he's a priority right now, Lieutenant.
Hey, is the ambulance out there yet?
Priority one?
Now he's a tourniquet applied.
Is there an ambulance out there yet?
No.
Are we bringing them to a safe area or
No,
is it safer
there
right
was an
here?
ambulance there, they just took off.
All right, if this...
Let's just move up to the door. Coming up behind you, bud. RTF2 to command, entering through the Bravo side door also. Still?
Hi, I'm State Fire Marshal Peter Ostrowski. Each year, have your furnace or chimney checked by a professional at the start of the heating season. A well-running furnace can save you money, prevent fires, and carbon monoxide poisoning. A professional chimney sweep can check for cracked or broken mortar that can lead to fires, as well as remove creosote, which is what causes most chimney fires. Use a metal ash can with a lid. Store it outside, away from the house, porch, or garage until ashes are completely cool. Remember this winter, keep warm, keep safe.
So I heard Morrissey say it might be moving to the right a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah.
So what they did is he gets that feel because he's so close to it. Now the captain didn't see that from behind. The other officer will go to the other side and get a better look. Okay, look, things look stable. Looks like we can stop moving again. And it may jockey a little bit. Listen, that's going to happen. That's what we're prepared for. That's why we have so many fail-safes in place.
Looks like the tires might be off the ground a little
Yep,
bit.
they're coming up a little bit, which means now we're coming off that car. And it might be as little as just getting it off that little bit, a hair off that car to now be able to slide that vehicle out if we need to. The other thing, too, if you notice, they've actually clamped the suspension here. They've strapped the suspension. See the tire in the front of this vehicle? They took as much height out of that car as possible to help them work so they don't even have to go up as much. Remember, the higher this gets off the ground, the more unstable it's going to become. So we want to get it off the ground as little as possible to get our job done. A lot of times, we're just cutting someone out of a car. We might have to move, an eighth of an inch to get someone's entire foot out of a spot. So that's, we want to move things as little as possible because remember, with every effect, there is somewhat of an adverse effect on the other way. So we have to keep that in mind. This stuff doesn't happen overnight, though. That's the thing. These guys, you see they go right to their positions. They know the jobs they're doing. This stuff doesn't happen overnight. This is a multitude of training. It's like, Bill Belichick doesn't show up on Sunday and expect Tom Brady to just play well. I mean, there's a lot of practice that goes on during the week. And that's why when you see our guys show up, they are so professional. They get to their tasks. They perform the tactics that need to be performed because we've practiced on this. We're out doing this stuff all the time. This doesn't, you don't just say, okay, pull this off the truck. Maybe this goes together here. This is well trained, well thought out. Now to try to pull it with the grip hoist. If you can see Jimmy Bertram right there, he's a representative from Northeast Rescue, where we got the Paratrek rescue struts from. He's also a captain on the Stoughton Fire Department and does sales with this equipment. He deals with these all the time. He's probably talking to the captain right now. I think they're probably looking at how stable it is if it's level on either side before they can move it. So they might have an instability problem on the other side. Again, if we had a person in this car, we're going to do it how we got to do it to get it done. We're not going to worry as much about if it's perfect or not, as long as it's safe.
Very little.
It was kind of a plan that was put in play probably, I'd say at least 4 months ago, 5 months ago, give or take. We had acquired or purchased a lot of this equipment back when we bought Ladder 1, the new Ladder 1, and we had some training on it a little bit with a few members in the department, so we pretty much were looking at it like we got some new extrication equipment, we should definitely get our members trained on it and up to speed, some new tactics. We were trying to think outside the box. You know, we respond to a lot of motor vehicle accidents all the time. Your garden variety motor vehicles, but you never know what you might be involved in. It could be a semi-tractor trailer truck, a dump truck, a bad bus, school bus. So we always need to take into account working in other areas. This equipment allows us to do that, so it was kind of born out of that once we had the equipment on hand that we felt like we needed to get a little more training on it. Right there, we had to make sure that we were on the same page, and if something was going haywire, we need to know why. You guys on one side can't see what the other side can see, and vice versa. So, all right, good work. Everybody good? Where's Captain?
Alright, so the reason we're shifting to the right, yesterday because of the grade, we compensated a little bit with this high diffusion on this side. We put it at a little greater angle than the one on the right, and that actually caused problems later on. So just like a lesson learned, maybe just take up some more tension on the left side would have been better off for us, and then stop pumping evenly. But what happened was this side was pushing, and that's when we got the sway going to the right side. But just like anything else, we get out here, we train, we'll figure this stuff out eventually. And besides that, it was going up. It was just going up slowly. When you're doing the hand pump, it's not like you got an airbag, it's going to go straight up. It's going to take time. We're only looking for inches here, so that was the biggest thing we got to take into consideration.
Take a look at that system that you just built. Right now, the 75-ton rotator took the slack out. We have it, right? I know the tires are only off the ground just a little bit, you know, whatever, right? But our equipment is now holding that bus in place as we stand right now. We were able to clear this car out of the way, all right? Awesome job. All right, any guys questions?
Well, there you have it. What a training, what an episode, what a fire department. Brockton Fire Department does it day after day. And we at One North Main are happy to provide some behind-the-scenes looks at the great work that they do. To learn more about Brockton Community Access, please visit our website at bcatv.org. You can also check out our YouTube page, youtube.com/TheBrocktonChannels, all one word. Special thanks again to the Brockton Fire Department, also the Brockton Police Department, and for everyone at One North Main, including executive producer Mark Lindy and producer Aaron Tebow. I'm Jay Miller, and we'll see you around town.